particular Eclipse. Eclipse is an IDE. IDE means
Integrated Development Environment.
Integrated development.
Integrated development.
Okay. So I given you something to write. So now what you will try to do? You will try to open OneNote or Notepad. So you just open this one and then you can start writing something here. Means if you wanted to perform something, you need to have certain editors to write that particular thing. Now, when I wanted to write the Java code, I should require certain platform to write the code, right? So this is the platform which it is called as IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So integrated development environment means the name itself, it was saying that integrated. Now, what do you mean by integrated? So here you can do writing your code, compiling of your code, generating of the resources, execution, and results, and packaging. You can do each and everything. All things you can do it. So now these all are in one place. Means it is integrated in one place for this particular development activities. So that is the reason it is called as integrated development environment. Means whatever the development activities we do, development activities means writing the code, compiling the code, executing the code, generating this, all these things are called as development activities. Yesterday when we were discussing about the JDK, so we have been discussed, right? So JDK is nothing but combination of JRE plus development activities. These development activities are all these things. So now we wanted to do these particular development activities. So these are the development activities which we can perform. Right. So to do that particular development activities or to do write the code, we need to have certain platforms. So that certain platforms are called as IDEs. And if you wanted to write the Java program, now for writing these particular Java programs, there are multiple editors in the market. So the most popular editors are Eclipse, and the next one is IntelliJ. So now for this particular training and the course, we'll be using completely from the Eclipse point of view. Okay, and we will have a separate session on the Eclipse. What is this particular means? Now we understand what is an Eclipse. Now, what are the features of an Eclipse? Because it's a huge, lots and lots of features are there. And Eclipse is a free open source. Okay, now IntelliJ is commercial. So they have a community version and commercial version also. There are limited features which it can be available in the commercial, and then they made it as a commercial tool too. Now, discussing about all these particular things about the features of the Eclipse, it will be followed in our next session. But as of now, what you need to understand is, now we do have this particular IDE, so which is what this particular, and if you wanted to see now few things you need to understand. So how I wanted to see the version of the Eclipse, because many of the times when you're getting in issues, what the first thing they will ask you is, what is a version which you're working on? Just you need to come to the help. So in the help, you will be having about Eclipse. So just you need to click on this particular about Eclipse. So now here you can see that what is a version of this one. So this is 2023 March. So this is a March version. And you will be vigorously getting these particular versions on this. And in this particular thing, so these are the things which you have it by default inside this. Every logo have their own explanation, means it is integrated to the Git, and it is integrated with the Python. Even we can try to do with the Python also. So just we need to update certain packages and all. So now those things we will be doing it later. And the same way, if you're using your Android phone, you'll be having a Play Store. So Play Store where you can go and download certain applications which you can use it for the mobile apps. In the Apple, means if you're using iPhone, you'll be having the Apple Store. The same way, if you wanted to install some more new softwares, so here you will have the Eclipse Marketplace. You can get so those particular things, and then you can install to the existing Eclipse. So because these things we will be using it for our further softwares which we wanted to install. So when we wanted to install the TestNG or other stuff, or if we wanted to use the Maven, So at that point of time, we'll be using this particular installing new softwares and the market Eclipse spaces. Okay. However, we will discuss about each and every menu item, and then we'll go into the details. Okay. So as of now, the major important thing is first you wanted to see the version of this one so that we can have to see these particular versions. And the next important thing is you wanted to change your views. So because when we are explaining, means when we're giving the explanations, see, when we ask to maximize the file. So now if you wanted to close a file, so here you need to click the close button so that this file will be closed. Example now, so this is what our first lesson. So now I close this. Now if I open this one, it will be open. So now this is what the close button. And if I have opened multiple files, I can have the right click and close all. So it will be closed. Now I wanted to see only this one. So now here, because whenever you are presenting the screen to me, so you need to click on this particular maximize so that it gives you the only the maximum view for this one. And you can, if you wanted to expect, once again, you wanted to go back to the same thing. So here you'll be clicking this particular button. And here you will be having two visions or the two views. Now, this is Package Explorer, okay? And this is Project Explorer. Okay, so this is Package Explorer and this is Project Explorer. Now you can just see that. Are you finding any bigger differences? Let me drag this one. Okay, this is Package Explorer. Now this is in the Project Explorer. Now you can see it, right? And this is Package Explorer. Are you finding any differences? So I just expanded this. I think both are same. Are you finding anything difference?
Not really.
Will not have any bigger differences. Actually, there is a hairline differences between this. Because now you are using the latest versions of the Eclipse. So you may not find these particular basic differences between a Package Explorer and the Project Explorer. But I don't want her to get confused because for the development activities, so the people will go through this particular Package Explorer and certain configuration files and certain basic things which you can't see it in the Project Explorer. But as of now, for the latest versions, it is almost same. So that is the reason I don't want to give you that particular hairline differences now because it might confuse you. Later on, you can understand when we go for certain files will be created in this particular Packages Explorer and Project Explorer. I'll give you that explanation. What is that particular differences, which you can't see it in the Project Explorer, which you can see it in the Package Explorer. Okay, so as of now, you can open any of these things, which is it is convenient for you, but you should know what you are opening, whether you are opening the Project Explorer or you are opening the Package Explorer. At least you should know that. So this Package Explorer and the Project Explorer is nothing but it is like a menu items. Now, for an example, now you went for a hotel. So now, what are the non-veg items we have, vegetarian items we have, and what are the special dishes you have. So those things you can see that particular list of things, and then you can choose it, right? The same way, this is the hierarchy structure. It arranges in a proper format. Hey, now I wanted to see what are the tests which I have it. So I have means a package, sub packages, and then here I'll be opening that respective files over here. So this is how we will be installing this and then keeping those things into. This will help you to maintain in a structured format, and then whatever things you wanted, you can access from this particular folder structure. So now this is called a folders structure. Folder structure means what you have done. So under this particular packages, you have respective this particular file. So now, for example, now this feature files, we have this particular feature files. Step definitions, all the step definitions under this particular step definition file. Anyways, we discussed about the package and the project, right? There you can understand. But here, what is a major thing which I wanted to show you to you is how you wanted to open this particular project explorer or the project explorer. So now if you have been closed this one, now you wanted to open this. Now how we can open this one is go Windows, show view, and here you can see that particular project explorer. So I wanted to give you the first major and important thing, so that which it can help you to see those particular things. Now, you wanted to, because I have multiple things, because I'll be using other respective things where you will be seeing this all. So now, basic thing, what you wanted to see once after this one. So now you wanted to see the console. Console means, what is console?
Where we are seeing
Where
the
we can
result.
see the
Where our
output.
program is going to execute is called a console, sir.
Where
Where
we
we
are
see our
seeing the
results is
result
Our
called,
also.
results
results
will.
is called the console. So now this is what our editor pane. Show your editor. Okay, show your editor, and then show your writing pane. So this is where you'll be writing your code. And when you written the code and when you execute this one, so this is what called as console. And these are the console options. Anyways, we will see that what is the different options which we have. But while this is the quick things which if you wanted to see on the things which you wanted to basically see, uh, what are the basic features, or in current usage what are the basic things which it is required for you. I just wanted to show you first. So go to the windows and in the show view, and here you can have the project explorer or the package explorer, anything you'll be getting it. It means if it is not enabled here, just go to this others, and here you can type whatever the things you wanted. You can see those particular things over here. Okay, and then now once you have this particular project explorer and these particular editors and all, so now this is the minimizing. Okay, and then this is the maximizing the console output if you wanted to maximizing this. And then if you wanted to open any particular file once again, so we can either, as it is minimized, it will be here, all the minimized things will be here. So now as soon as I click, so now you see minimize, and this would be here, and then I'll be opening this and I'll be maximizing this. Okay, I wanted to close this, I can close this here. And I maximize this, maximize. Because when I'm asking you to maximize, you need to maximize this, maximize this, minimize this. Okay, and then here you can see here this, and whenever I wanted to open, so where is this particular FC file? You can see that, right? So link with the editor. I told you, right? This is the editor. So now this package need to be which file I have been open. So just you need to click on this editor. Okay, it's not showing to me. Oh, it's showing already. See, FC. See, as soon as I'm clicking on this file, it would be opening for me. Let me try once again. See, you seen it, right? I close this all. Now this is a file I opened. Okay, this is a file I opened, and when I'm trying to click on this one, it will open me that particular file and then it will show it to me. So this is how this particular package explorer would be interlinked with this particular editor. Okay, these are the basic things which you need to see it. In the help, you will be getting this particular marketplace and about the information of the Eclipse. And in this particular um, Windows show view, you can have this particular views which we wanted to see on it. And if you wanted to make the font size increasing, a lot of preferences, those all things can be seen it in the preferences point of view. The what is a theme which you wanted to use it. So some people will be using it the white theme, right? So they can go and use the white theme. But usually I use dark, so that's the reason dark theme I have been kept it. So just you wanted to change, those all options would be available here. General is for the Eclipse, and remaining its relevance to the specific plugins which we have been installed. So those particular changes, if you wanted to do it, so that you can do it on the preference point of view. Now we seen this one. Now you can see on this one a run is the most important thing. So control F11. So now we wanted to do it, right? So anyways, we click on the control F11. And when we go for the debugging, so I'll explain about each and every pointer here in this particular menus. Okay. So now this is what the basic things which we need to understand. And this is the basic file menu. Okay, in this particular file menu which it will help you, so most of the pointers we will discuss from the file menu for today. And editing source refractors, those things as and when it is required, I'll take one particular topic and then we'll be talking on those things. Okay, this is what the very basic walkthrough about the Eclipse. So we discussed what is Eclipse, and then what is how to see the versions, and then how to get some softwares into the Eclipse, those options, and then seeing that particular views from the Windows, and then execution. So those are the things which we have been seeing it from the overall basic view from the Eclipse point of view. Now, what we wanted to do is, as we discussed, first we wanted to create a project. How to create a Java project. Now we do have the options, file, new. We can go and create the project here. Or we have the option, right click and new. This is where the project is. So now here you're seeing it, right? Project. Now what is a project? So last time we have been discussed, right? With a set of requirements. If I'm going to create a particular new thing, then that is called a project, right? So now I have certain, see now what is the agenda for my project is, I'm going to create for a training project. In this particular training project, what I wanted to see it is every day, for example, I'll be having different concepts. Now all those different concepts I'll create in the same project folder, so that tomorrow whenever I wanted to have a quick references, I can use this particular project for my reference. Okay, everyone follow the same thing, so that it will be easier for you to maintain this particular project. And you can see whenever it is really required for you, at that point of time, this will help you a lot. When you're going for a quick interviews, you wanted to see about a topic on a specific topics, means on the inheritances, or the on polymorphism, or on the strings, or on the arithmetic operations, or the operators. So at that point of time, this will help you a lot. Okay, so create a project. You can keep your own namings, but keep everything into a single structure, so that all your trading information would be into a specific project. Okay, now I'm going to create a project now. Okay, now when I'm going to create this particular project, so as soon as you click here, this will look like this. Then what is the project you are going to create it? So you forgot about all this Maven and PyDev and all these things, because I just wanted to create Java project. So here I can go here, and then I can select this. Else always you have here this search. So now here if you type this one, Java, so by default it will show you the Java project. Okay, so now I'll select this particular Java project, and what should be the project name? Okay, so here the project name, I can keep this one as training, as this is a training project, right? So I'll be keeping this one as Java training projects. Okay, and while we're giving the names, so always you need to remember, okay, you shouldn't give the white spaces and then create the project. And always you need to remember that when you're starting a project, it should be in the capital letters. And either you can give the underscores, no spaces are allowed. So you need to give Java training underscore project. Okay, so these are certain notations. Actually the notation for this one, okay, so you might be confusing what is this notations and other things. We'll have standards. See, for an example now, we have a new baby in our home. So then what we see, according to the birth time, so we will be keeping a name for that baby, right? So there is certain standards. Now with what letter we'll be getting it up, and then we will be the starting letter of that. So according to that starting letter, we'll be keeping it. So now that is what the standard format of keeping the names for our babies, right? The same way for keeping a name for a project. So there are certain standards which we need to follow for this. So now this is called a snake notation. So we have Hungarian notation, snake notation. So those are the notations we have. So those things, when we are writing the code, I'll be talking about the coding standards. In the coding standards, we'll be talking about that. But these are the basic things which you need to understand. Either you can see now for the clear readability, you can give this particular underscores, or you can keep like this without having anything, any no spaces. But it is preferred to have these particular to improve the readability of this, a quicker readability of this. See now how it looks like with this, see, Java training projects, or how you look at this. It is not a big problem, but it decreases the readability of this. So that's the reason always you follow the standard notations, keeping the underscore, so which is called as snake notations, which you need to follow to create a particular Java project. Now, when I'm creating this particular Java project, remaining things would be there, means like Java SE, because I think for you it will be coming as 17, Java 17 you'll be getting it. Okay, because I updated this particular Java from 8 to 17. Few of my projects were impacted. So that's the reason I need to come back to this Java 8. So I'll try to set up that one and then go for the Java 17 as soon as possible. But anyways, all people are working in Java 17. So whatever the questions and doubts you have it, so I'll be explaining that one in the Java 17 itself. Okay. And then now you can keep as it is the same thing. I don't want to go and then explain all these particular set of things as of now, which it might be leaving you a little bit confusions, because now we need to set up our GRE. What is GRE? What is GRE?
Java
Okay.
environment.
Okay.
Plus
I'll
JVM
specific.
with all the
Okay.
libraries and
Awesome. So let me pick you the people and then I'll ask you this question, because I just wanted to see that whether you people are hearing or whether you people are working somewhere else. I don't want to do that. Okay. Now, I wanted to do, I created the project, right? Now, you see here, as soon as I click this, finish. See now, Java trading projects. And you see here, a small J is visible to you. And you see here, this project, it was having with a M. So now here it is saying it as Java. So it means that it created the Java project. J stands for Java. So now by seeing this folder itself, we can understand that, hey, this is a Java project which I have been created. Now, when I created a basic Java project, you see what are the things it created? First, it created the JRE. So now if you see, expand this particular JRE library, you can see that these particular library files. From where we are getting these particular library files? From where you are getting these particular library files?
JRE, sir. In
JRE.
See, this JRE is only here. I'm talking about the JRE system library only. But from where you are getting these particular files? This jars. So when you have been installed your Java, yesterday I shown you, right? When you installed Java in C and program files in Java, JRE you created, right? So this JRE libs, in the libs you have this particular Java files, this particular jar files. So whenever you created any particular Java project, by default you will be getting all these particular JRE libraries. From where you are getting, I shown you the answer also. Here you can see that C program files, Java, JRE, and this particular thing, library extends. So in this, from these particular folders, you get all these particular Java, these particular jar files. Why we require these particular jar files? Why we need to have this default jar files?
To execute.
If we want to create a package, we need some jar files. So.
What is this, Vinod? Is this the answer? For creating a package, we require JRE. What is the purpose of JRE?
So for creating jar files, we need a group of packages.
That's what is my question? What is the purpose of this particular jar files? Right? What is the purpose of this particular JRE jar files?
To execute the program, sir.
So
That's it,
if
right?
there is
Yesterday
an
we discussed,
Run the
right?
program.
So now
So what are the packages we should be grouped to?
that you are seeing here, right? What are the package? Okay, if you wanted to see that particular packages, just expand this. You can see that particular packages. See, that is the reason I'm clearly saying that if you don't understand the differences between this particular JRE, JDK, and JVM, you will never understand the concepts. And the people who didn't attend it yesterday and coming directly for today's session, they will not understand this. That is the reason I'm saying it. Go back and see what the things has been discussed, happen, and come back to the session so that you can have the continuity, so that you can understand. Or else I told you, right, it would be like a Greek and Latin movie for you. See, once again, I'm saying it. So we'll be having basic Java file. Okay. So now this is where a one class file, this would be converted into a dot class file with the help of a compiler. Compiler will do two things. One, it will check the syntactical errors. Second, it will convert this particular Java file into dot class file, which is into the bytecode. And this bytecode would be given it for the JVM. So JVM consumes this particular bytecode, and then it would be converting this particular bytecode into the assembly language, low level language, which it can be understood by the computer. So it is the responsibility of the JVM. So JVM is an platform. Okay, this is a virtual platform, means you can't see now. At least I can show you the JRE JDK in these particular folders. I can show you, hey boss, this is JRE. It have the physical presence, but as for the JVM, we don't have the physical presence. It's a virtual presence. So that's the reason it is called as a Java virtual machine. So virtual means we need to imagine there is no reality. See, in the movies you will see a ghost or soul, so that we can see the soul, but you can't go and touch them. So that's a virtual imaginations, right? So now JVM is a virtual, it's not physically present. But what the purpose of the JVM, internally what it happens is, it consumes this particular bytecode and converts into the assembly language. So this is a platform where it consumes this and converts into this one. And here inside this one, you'll be having the class loader, bitcode, verifier. So all these things means we have the JIT, Java, means Java JIT compiler. What is JIT?
Just in time, sir.
Just in time means a compiler. So means in the same thing, it will be compiling that particular code and giving us it will compile this, it will take this particular bytecode and converts into this particular assembly language. So that's the responsibility of the JVM, and it will stop there. Now what it will do, JVM plus libraries, what it will try to do, it will help to execute the program and generate the result. So now these are that particular libraries which you are seeing here. So now with the help of JVM, with the help of these particular libraries, okay, Eclipse, it will try to convert, it will try to execute your code and generate the results for you. That is the purpose of JRE. Got it? So JVM is a virtual, we can't see that one, but JRE JDK we can see it. Now what is the purpose of JVM? From the compiler, the bytecode is released, right? Byte means the dot class file. It consumes by the JVM. So JVM consumes this and convert this one into the assembly level language. So this is a platform where it consumes a bytecode and convert into the assembly level language. Now it provided a platform and converted it, but who will be coming and then executing this? The hero comes into this JRE. So JRE would be the one who executes this particular code in this particular JVM platform. So this guy, see now this is like a director. He stays behind the screen. We can see the hero in the screens, so which is called JRE. Now with the help of JRE, so we can execute this particular program and then get this particular output. Now JRE plus development activities, which it comes to the JDK, means inside this particular JRE, I'll be having with the JVM plus some libs. Now JRE plus D means development activities is called the JDK. Means, so now this is like, you can imagine another hero. So now this is JRE and this is JDK. So now JDK, what it will try to do? So it can do the development activities also. If I have only JRE, what I can do? I can execute and I get the results. This is the only purpose of the JRE. But if I wanted to have, if I wanted to write the code, compile the code, generate the sources, execute that, get the results, doing the package, all these development activities are there, right? If I wanted to do, then I need to have the JDK. So JDK is nothing but it will have the internally JRE plus the development activities. That is what I showed you yesterday also. So boss, you go here and you go to the JDK, and the JDK you have the JRE also internally. So that is the reason we will be installing JDK in our machine, because we are writing our code. Here is our purpose is not to only execute it. We are trying to write the code and doing it, write the code and do the executions and all. So that's the reason we install the JDK into our systems. So always remember Java compiler. Java compiler will help you to do two activities: to check the syntactical errors. Second pointer is to convert dot class means Java file into the class file. JVM consumes that particular bytecode, consumes this particular bytecode, and then generate the assembly language. This is a virtual platform where it will do this one. And internal structure of the JVM, I don't want to talk about it. So if you understand the basic concept of this one, it is enough. In internal, you have JIT compiler, class loader, bitcode verifier. So all these things will be there. Everything will have a different functionalities. You leave about it. At least you need to know it consumes the bytecode and generates the assembly language. And this is a virtual platform which we have. On this particular platform, you wanted to do the execution. So for doing that execution, so JVM plus you should have the libraries which it is called as a JRE. So this is how this particular Java C, JVM, JRE, and JDK has been defined. Now, when you created a particular project, by default, you'll be having the system library JRE. Okay. So now, once it is created, now you see it, right? If I created the same thing with the project, so if I created the general project, I keep this project name as dummy. Okay. See, I created the project here. Am I getting any other things? So this is a general project. That's the reason nothing you are able to see it. No J, nothing. And you're not seeing this particular JRE or this source because you didn't create the Java project. Okay. And if you wanted to delete the project, give a right click. You will have delete option. And you always remember this. If you give a tick this one, it will not only delete from this particular package explorer, this particular project will be created in certain place, right? In the hard disk. Even there also it will be deleted. Now let me see that this project where it is created. Now right click on the project. If I wanted to see the path of this, where this particular project is created, go to the properties and in the resources. Okay, in the resources, you can see it. Where it created, see users admin. In this particular admin, it has been created this project. You see it? So this is the path where we are creating it. How to set this particular path? Why it went and stayed here? Because when you're opening your Eclipse, it will ask you the path. Okay, where I need to go and create this particular project. It asked, I given this one as C users admin. So that's the reason it went and it's created here. So if you wanted to change your paths, actually here you'll be having option to change your workspace. So now these are the workspaces which we can have it. You can see it, right? C user admin, Eclipse workspace, we can create it. Or you see it, but this is what my default path I have been given it here. C users admin. Now, whatever the projects I created, the project will go and store here. Okay. For an example now, what I'll try to do, I'll try to create a folder here. What is the path I created? C users admin. So this is where I'm creating all the projects, right? Now what I'll try to do, I'll change this particular thing. I'll go for here and here I'll say that I create a new folder, quick underscore projects. Okay. I'm keeping this. Now what I'll try to do, I'll go back to my Eclipse. I'll click file. I'll click switch workspace because I wanted to have different workspaces. Workspace is nothing but I work in my gym room. So that's my space. I work in hall, in the living room. I work in bedroom. So those are the different places where you're working. So all my official projects I have been kept in one workspace because I can't share in this particular demonstrations, right? So I kept all those things in a different workspace, different folder. So now I wanted to switch over to a different workspace. So that's the reason I'm clicking on this. Now, where I wanted to go, where I have been created on the D folder under D folder, I created the quick projects here. Okay, this is the select folder. I selected this folder, launch. Now what it was using it, right? The Eclipse will relaunch and go to that particular workspace. Now, whatever the new projects which I'm going to create or whatever the things which I'm going to do it. So this all will go to that particular project workspace. Now, let me click on this. So now this is what the introduction of this Eclipse. So now we wanted to see anything. Those are the things which you can just quickly check. So how to create a new projects and all those things. Now let me start once again creating a new project. So how as soon as you open, this would be the view of this one. I wanted to close all these things, right? Let me give a right click, close all. Directly I can close this one. So now I wanted to create a new project, right? Give a right click, because that's already nothing is there, right? So that's where it was getting it. So now here I'll be saying that Java underscore new batch, because there I have been given it, right? So I'll be keeping it. Okay, I have been given this one. I'm not touching any of these things. Okay, let me leave this. Okay, now you see it. SC17 came for me. Okay, let me do that. Okay, now I'm creating finish. Now you see here, Java new batch project is created. J is a Java project. You can see. So now this project is created on the Java 17. Okay, and you can see that previously you didn't see this many libraries because it is Java 8. Now this is Java 17. Okay, now I created this particular project and this is what the source. Nothing is there. Now if I given a right click and click on the properties, now you can see it where it's stored, the quick projects Java files. If I clicked on this, it will take me to the quick projects. Previously the quick projects is a new folder which I created. Nothing is there. Now you can see that Java folder here. You can see this complete. These are the basic initial setup. When you create a project, you'll be getting .project, .class, .settings folders. You don't worry about all these things now. So when you create a Java project, so this is a folder structure. It will be created by default. Okay, now we created this particular folder structure and these things are ready. Now what I'll need to do, I wanted to go here. Okay, so now by this, what you need to understand is what is the basic difference for a normal project and the Java project, and which folders I wanted to create this particular project or where to create this particular projects. So that is what I showed you in the drives also. If you create it, so switching over of your workspace. So you see it, right? You can go to this workspace, or this is what the current workspace which is in the D drive. So now these are in the C drive. I can switch over to different workspaces. So in that particular workspace, you will now not see the things. Means you can have official projects, non-official projects, freelancing projects. So you can do multiple projects, right? So this is what the workspace which you can do it. Workspace is nothing but it's a different place where you can have the different projects. Means, for example, you went to US, you have all your friends in US friends. When you come to your local place, so when you go for your hometown, you'll have your local friends there. And you went for UK, you will have your own friends there. Means one click, but you are only the person going to the different locations. But you'll have different friends there, and you'll have different friends here. You will have different friends here. So that is how you maintain it, right? The same way here also the projects, whatever the projects which we created in different workspace, that is pertaining to that particular workspace only. Okay, so this is how now I created a project. When I created a project, it will be having by default JRE will be created, and then the source file will be created. So this is what the source folder. Now we'll be saying that, hey, this is what see, for example, now I wanted to buy a property. Then we will ask, hey, where is a mother documents? Means main documents, where you find the main documents, right? So all your code, source code. So this is the main folder, which is called SRC. SRC is nothing but source folder. Okay, source folder. Now for this particular source folder, now we are going to develop the code. We need to create the codes for this. Now what we wanted to do it here is, I wanted to create a new package. Okay, and always you should remember, when you're creating a package, always this would be with the small letters. Point number one. Point number two, how to create a package. So for an example, you can see that you open Amazon. So now if you see here, Amazon dot, it is IN. IN means
India.
Indian.
Yeah.
So this is Indian. So now you can have .uk. So now that is where we have been discussed in our different type of applications. 4-tier architecture, network distributed architecture, which we have been discussed. So now these are the network distributed architecture applications. Now network distributed architecture, right? So now it is starting from Amazon.in. So now when I go to the Flipkart, so it was starting with Flipkart.com. Now I go for Myntra. Myntra.com. So this is where the companies are. Now, when I'm creating this my project name, if it is IN, so now I'll be creating it as in.amazon. So this is what the starting of your package name should start. If it is a Flipkart, what I need to start?
com.flipkart.
Flipkart. So this is how this would be started. Okay, for this particular company, okay, company. So COM is nothing but company dot the company name dot. Now this is the basic trainings, right? So that what is this particular group? Now, first of all, let me explain you what is a package. Now, package is nothing but, for example, I wanted to go for a family trip or family vacation. Now, what I'll try to do, what are the places we can have? So I choose the best place. If it is in India, so I can choose it for Kashmir, or else I go for Kerala. So now I have this is for a family trip. So now whether I wanted to go for this particular Kashmir, so then I go for Srinagar and Gulmarga. So these are the places which I'll be having the package. So in this particular package, what I'll be getting it is I'll be getting the flight tickets, and I'll be getting the hotel accommodation and transportation, and then sightseeing and the food, breakfast and dinner, and all these things will be mixed. Means it's a combination of all these things. Would be calling it as a package. Now I want to take my parents. Means this is a temple trip which I wanted to go. So now I'll be going. Means what are the temples are there? So now, for an example, if it is in southern side, so we can have Thanjavur. So we can go for Chidambaram, Kumbakonam, and all these temple trips which I wanted to make. So then what I'll try to do, so I'll book that particular temple trip. So where it will take me all this particular the flight tickets or transportation, hotel accommodation, food, everything would be having a group thing. Now I wanted to go with the bachelors. Now I can go for Goa, or I can go for out of countries, wherever I wanted to go with the bachelor. So now for that one, there will be separate package would be there. So package is nothing but a group of activities which are similar to one particular category. So now you see it, right? If I'm going for temple trip, it will be only on the temples. If I'm going for a bachelor trip, it will be only for the bachelor. If I'm going with the family, I'll be going with a complete family trip. So it is for a specific purpose, right? Now temples, I'm going for temples. If I'm going for a bachelor, it's a bachelor. Means there will be a specific reason to group that particular activities. What activities we wanted to do. So package is the same thing. So it groups the similar, means a specific task, a specific activities which we wanted to perform. So those things will be grouping up. So it makes a group. Means for example now, whatever the hotel bookings, room bookings, or the flight ticket bookings, all these things we are making into one single group, right? So that is where it is called as a package. Means overall package, how much? So now overall, the specific purpose files, if you have it, so then this is called as a package. Now, how to keep that particular naming convention of a package? Temple trip package, or family trip package, or bachelor trip package. Now you'll be keeping that particular naming notation, right? So this is what the same naming notation here. So now here what we are trying to do. So com.training. Now what I'm trying to do. So this is a basic class, right? Or the basic info. So let me keep this as a basic info. And always you remember, space is as soon as I'm giving it, it was coming as invalid package names. And if I started to write with the capital letters, see, discourage the package name. By convention, the package name usually start with the lower cases. So always you should remember. So you shouldn't see now when you written like that, by seeing that one itself, the people can understand that, hey, this guy don't know the basics. The basics is you need to follow. This is syntax which you need to follow. It should be in the small letters. com.training.basic info. Okay. Now once I have been graded, so you don't need to worry about this particular info.java files. So even the module.info, if it is in older Java, you'll not see this. So this gives you the complete information. Why we'll be using these things, I'll let you know later. You don't worry about it. First, you should know what is a package and how to create a package. Now you're given the package name and click on this basic info. Now you see it, it created. So that's the structure. So now when you wanted to create a project, so under the project, you should have this SRC. SRC, you should have a package. Under this particular package, then you will be creating a new class. So now how to create a new class? Give a right click, new, and here when you come here, you can see the C+, which is the class file. So now I'm trying to create a class file. So now this is what I'll say that this is my Java first class. Okay, and you don't touch here. So because we'll be talking about these all things in a very detailed fashion. So what is the modifiers and what is this interfaces, superclasses, these all things we'll be talking about it. So with this all, what you need to do is the most important thing is select this particular public static void main. Every term we need to know about it. What is public, what is static, what is void, what is main, what is string, what's args. So these all things we'll be discussing as part of this one. Okay, now don't do anything. So just give the name of the class. So now first of all, so this, okay, I'll be writing it. And one more thing, always remember, package name should be small, right? Always class name should start with the capital letter. So now Java FC first class, or then you can keep it as Java underscore FC. You shouldn't give the spaces. Always this is the cap, we need to remember that. Class name should start with the capital letter. And no spaces would be allowed. Okay, and you see here where you are creating under com.training basic info, the same com.basic info, and where it is this parent of this one SRC. So this is a project name source, and this is the one. So now let me click finish. So now here I have been created the class name. It is not increasing. To increase the font, Control Shift plus button from the numpad. If you given it, it will increase this one. So now hope you are able to see it. Now if I wanted to delete a particular line, so click on that line, Control D, it deletes that line. Now you see here under what package? So this is the package name, right? Under this particular package, we have been created a Java class file. And as we discussed, this name and this name should be matched. And if you're seeing star, it is not saved. Now I save. Now you see, if you wanted to change this particular name, so now I wanted to give this one as first C or class, and let me give that one. If I have been given this one, you see it was throwing me the error. Just hover on this particular error message. Either rename this particular file or rename the type. So now I'll rename it. Now you see it, this also changed. So what is the important thing? Always remember that the class name and the file name. So this is file name. File name means this is .java. This is the file name. Always you remember the extension of the Java code files are .java. Now whatever the file you create, so this is how you'll be seeing on it. So this class name and this name should match. Okay, now, and as we discussed, this is the ignition of your execution. Means if you wanted to start your car, you will have a start button or a key, or if you wanted to self-start your bike, you'll be having the self-start button, right? So that is how you'll have the self-start button here. Now here what we need to do is SYSO, okay, and you need to follow the indentation. Indentation means from here, one tab. Align this, it shouldn't start from here. Many of the people you have been written from here. No. Understand. So this is called main method. From main method, the execution will start. Means here is whatever the things you write inside this, those only will be executed. Remaining things will not be executed. So now SYSO control space bar. it gives me. Okay. So now here I'll be writing is Java is fun. Now I have been written this one. Okay. Now you see here, if I write the same statement, see when I started first time when I'm writing my code, I have written like this. You see here what it was trying to come for me. It was throwing me an error message. Let me hover and see. Multiple syntax errors are there. Means any particular statements which you are going to write it, so that particular statement should be inside this particular methods only. What is a method, and those things we'll discuss later. What is a class, what is a method, all those things we'll discuss as part of the next steps. But you don't worry about all. Just okay, you remember that you wanted to execute the code. That execution of the code should be in the main villain will be there, right? So that villain will do all the things. Now here you need to keep these things inside this particular main method. Now you see it. What is the scope of this method? You see this flower braces. So now from this flower braces you can see it. So here to here is the scope. And what is the scope of a class? If you double click here, you can see the scope of the class. So now this is what the errors you are getting in. If you are getting the error, you can't execute the program. So now what I need to do? Control/bar. So it comments that particular line. Control// beside the shift button will be there, right? Control, keeping the control, press the control button, and beside the question mark, below the question mark, you'll have the slash. You can give it. Same to uncomment, comment. You can use that one. Okay. Now you can use that. So control plus slash. If you given it for commenting and commenting it. Okay. For running, you'll be having F11. Control plus F11 for execution of the program. Means if you wanted to execute it, so you need to use this particular shortcut key. And if you wanted to delete anything, the same thing. Control plus D. It will delete. So these are the shortcuts which you need to quickly remember. It will make your code to run very faster. Okay, your finger should run. Okay. Now in this particular class, I created one main method and I have been written one simple statement. Now I wanted to execute it. Now I'll be executing it with, okay, before doing this execution, I just let me go through this one. So I went to D drive and I went to the quick projects, and in the quick projects, Java new batch. So this is the thing which we created, right? So src, under src com.training.basic info. So now you see it, right? This is how this folder structure. So in this folder, source com.training.basic info. So now I created the basic info. In this one, I have this particular Java class file. Now you see here, this is what you're seeing it. So this is how you'll be getting your class file information. So now your class is here. Now from here, it is retrieving and presenting in this particular pattern for you. Okay. Now, before doing this one, let me see that other folders also, how it would look like. Now we have bin folder, com.training.basicinfo.class file. You seen it, right? What it happened? So converting this particular, now you see it in the bin. Okay. Now in the source file, com.training.basicinfo, here you can see the Java file, .java, right? .java, we have been seen it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyways, so now this is .java file you have been seen. But now when you go for bin folder, com.training.basicinfo, you see the .class file. Now you see, if I open this particular, can you read this? So this is called bytecode. So now what it do? The compiler, when I have been written this, it automatically compiled it. Okay. And then when I started to execute it, it generated and it given me the output in the console. This is called console output. See, why I'm giving you this particular terms, because tomorrow if I ask, show me the console output, you should open and then you should show me. And then go to the editor. In this is what the editor. in the editor main method. So this is the code we have written. Now you see it, right? Nothing. See, now all these things happen in the behind the screens. You'll not even see it. So always you remember that. So in the source you'll have the original files, and in the bin folder you'll have this particular compiled files. Okay. You're not seeing here, but by default it creates that particular bin folder. Now in this Java you can have the bin folder. In the bin folder you will be having this .class file. See, class file. And in the source files you'll be having this one. So this is how Java C works. And this is how, now you see it, right? When I'm doing the execution with the help of these particular libraries, it takes all these particular libraries, it executes and generates the output for me. So which is what the JRE, with the help of JVM, it converts, taking this particular .java file and then converts into the bytecode, and this bytecode will be converted into the assembly language, and then it keep it ready for the Java JRE. And once the JRE comes into the picture, they execute and generate the result for it. And with the help of JDK, we have been started creating the program. We created a project and we created this main method, and we have written like this. So this is how we use JRE, JVM, JDK, and Java C. Any questions? So this is what a project, this is what a package, this is what a class, and the code. So now on first, because I'm not giving you the complete things. Now whatever things it is important for the first class you need to understand. So that is what the content which we presented today. Slowly it will be added around. And I'm telling you that within a week, you'll play around with Java. Because to print this one, it taken me some ages. I'm seriously saying it, and I failed in Java. It is a necessity of learning. When it is a necessity, then we will learn. If it is not necessity, we will not learn. And then I felt, hey, this is very simple and easy. I should have been learned this one in my BTech itself, rather than once I joined my job, where all people pushed to learn. And it is pretty simple, and no need. There is no complexity at all if you learn it in step by step. However, so now this is what the first basic session we have been discussed, right? Now what else? Next, what we will try to do? We will follow this one. What is that one? W3 schools. And one more thing, if you see, you will not learn this. If you practice, then only you will learn this. Many people will see, they will try, they'll see and go, and then they'll come back next day, they will listen, you'll not understand. You need to make your hands dirty, then only you will make it. So from the first session, you follow the same. See, here also these guys are also doing the same thing. Now tomorrow what I wanted to see it is, so now see, now this is what the agenda, no complicated things. Let's follow the same thing as it is. Now what we have done, Java home, okay? So now here, whatever the program it is there, let's copy this and paste it, and then you can work. Okay, let me copy this and then show it to you. So if I copy this and paste it, will it work? Will it work? Why it is not working?
Class name is different.
Class names.
And always you
We
need to
have to
remember
create
one more
new
thing.
Method also.
Okay. This is how. Now, will it work? Will it work?
Yes.
We have to save.
Yeah.
Now it will work.
That's it. Okay. And if you wanted to make it aligned, Control A. Okay. And you will have here Control F11, F12. What is that shortcut key? Control Shift F. Okay. It will make you to align properly. Okay, always you remember Control A, Control Shift F. It will align you properly, because based on your alignment only it gives you the readability. Now, so this is what the exercise you need to do. This is how. And next thing what I need to do, you need to know do is, okay, anyways intro we'll discuss later. This also we'll do it later. So Java syntax. Now anyways that I'll talk tomorrow. What is Java syntax? So now from here you need to start. What is Java syntax? You need to do this one tomorrow, and go for your comments. What is how to give a single line comment and multiple lines comment. Okay, giving the comments. Now what is variables? Okay, what are the different type of variables we have? How to declare a variable? What is a variable and how to declare a variable? And print that particular variables. And using multiple variables in this. So this is what you need to do it for tomorrow. One is comments, variables, syntax. These are pretty simple. Okay, these three topics you need to implement and come back. And when you're coming back tomorrow, please don't say that my laptop is not working, and then today is the first day I'm coming in joining, or I'm absent for yesterday, or this Java program is corrupted. So don't tell me any of these things. If you're coming tomorrow, before coming to the class, make open everything, keep it ready. As soon as I ask, just click the share button and share it. I quickly review, then only I'll start the next.